Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Vlogmas. Today I wanted to make like a December makeup bag. I have my makeup bag here ready to be filled with stuff, and I want to do this for two reasons. One, the next 3 weekends I'm going to be out of town, so I don't want to like keep having to pack everything over and over and over again. I want to have like my makeup bag for every day that I can just like grab and go every weekend. It's going to be a really busy month, a really like hectic month. It'd be nice to have this one thing to not worry about and always know that I have like all my products ready to go. It's also going to make getting ready easier. And number two, I'm going to do a makeup like declutter at the end of this month for like an end of year declutter. My collection is already pretty like minimal. Like I like to keep it pretty minimal and stuff, but there's definitely some expired products, a lot of products that I keep saying I'm going to use but I haven't. So I want this to kind of be like a shop my stash, grab the things that I know I really want to use every day, but also mix in things that I've been saying I want to use up to try to get the most of them before I ultimately have to probably declutter them at the end of the month. So almost like a shop my stash slash project pan moment, if we're going to use like classic YouTube terms. So let's go ahead and get started and make my December makeup bag. First off, my makeup bag is from Walmart, I think. I like how it's just like one big compartment and I can literally just toss everything in there. It usually holds all of my makeup, my brushes, skincare, any kind of like hair care I'm gonna bring whenever I go on a trip. And it's definitely not like the most organized thing, but it's really easy to use because everything's just there, but you can like see all of the products and it's easy to find what you need, versus like the stand-up makeup bags that are usually smaller and don't really fit everything, and also just hard to like look at everything. Like I can put this on the bathroom counter and keep everything inside and get ready from there, versus one of those like smaller ones. It's hard to find things in them, so usually you have to like dump them onto the counter. It just makes it more difficult. So I do like this one. I'll see if I can find it and link it if you're looking for a new cosmetic bag. But first we'll go with foundations. So a couple things in here that I keep saying I need to use and I keep not using them would be, the first one is the Smashbox Halo Tinted Moisturizer. I do really like this product and I used to wear it like almost every day when I first got it, and then I kept just trying new things and now I have some other favorites, so I just have stopped using it. It is like almost gone, but I really need to try to use the most of this before decluttering it. It's definitely one of those things, the next time I do a declutter, it definitely needs to go. So I'm gonna throw that in my bag first for like an everyday tinted moisturizer. For something a little bit more heavier coverage, for those days that I want more coverage, I think I'm gonna do the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue foundation. This used to be my favorite foundation, like period. And now every day I pretty much just use tinted moisturizers or tints. And this is pretty like high coverage, I would say. I would say like high medium coverage. But it is really, really beautiful on the skin. I just haven't like gravitated towards it. I think part of the reason is I looked it up on that like Think Dirty app and it came up with a really bad rating. And I just have so many other things that have like cleaner ingredients, I feel like, that I like to use. So it kind of like deterred me from grabbing this again. It kind of grossed me out a little bit, but this is a really beautiful foundation if you don't like really, if that doesn't really like bother you or you worry about that at all. But I'm going to try to use it up just like the other one. It's like almost gone, and again it's pretty old in my collection, probably going to be close to like expiration date. So it's one of those things that probably has to go in this next declutter, so I'm going to try to get my use out of it and throw that in here as well. Otherwise, a lot of these are still fairly new, or they're things that I actually do grab every day, so I don't really have a problem with needing to use them up. I guess one other tinted moisturizer I could throw in there would be the ColourPop Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer. That's another one that's getting pretty old here, and I just don't grab it anymore. Probably getting old. Like I said, I do use tinted moisturizers every day, so I feel like it's not too much to throw this in with the Smashbox one and kind of just use those interchangeably this month. I feel like there's a couple other things in here that I probably could throw in here, but I feel like those are the most like old in my collection, the things I'm most likely to declutter next time around. I have my concealers back here and primers and my sunscreen. I think I'm going to throw in my Kinship Self Reflect moisturizing sunscreen. This is another thing that's just been sitting in here. I haven't grabbed it. I haven't used it much. I do really like it, but it's probably getting close to expiration date. I've been wearing a lot of like tinted moisturizers that already have the SPF in them, which isn't always the most protection. And I feel like I need to get better at doing an actual SPF under my makeup. So I'm going to throw that in there and try to use that every day under all of my other tints and foundations. I'm gonna throw my Kosas concealer in there. This one is like almost empty. It's getting pretty down there, so I might as well use that up. And this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I like tried this as like a first impressions, and then I think a couple days after that I was using it, but since then I just haven't grabbed it. I honestly just kind of forgot about it, but I think I'm gonna throw that in and try to use that. I think I remember liking it, so we'll see. I think I'm gonna throw in one more concealer. This is the Ulta Beauty Youthful Glow Concealer. Again, I remember liking this. I just haven't used it in a long time. I was really using up my like Kosas concealer. And then now I've been going for the Ilia one. And then the e.l.f. one I've been using a lot on like blemishes and stuff. It's nice high coverage. So I think I'm gonna grab that one and put it in there. I'm thinking this all-nighter face primer is gonna be going in the declutter, and I also don't think it's going to be something I'm going to be using this month at all, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to be realistic. That's probably going to go, and that's probably about as much use as I'm going to get out of it is what I already have gotten out of it. Part of me really wants to throw the Stay Slip Tint in there because I've been wearing that like every single day, but I'm going to try to use these instead. Like I said, use them up, actually get good use out of them before getting rid of them, so I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna throw my Tarte lash curler in there. I always need that. I'm also gonna throw my Fix Plus in there. I don't use this every single day. I honestly don't love the sprayer. I feel like it's a little like abrupt, and I just usually don't feel a huge need. I usually don't wear my makeup for that long anyway, but I'm kind of getting down there, so I'm going to throw it in and try to use that. I have mascaras here. I've been using the Ilia one like every single day, so let's try to finish up the Milani Highly Rated. This one I think is getting down there, starting to dry out a little bit, so I'm going to try to use that up. And let's do this Ulta Beauty Maximum Lashes. I think I liked this. I don't think I loved it, but I think it's okay. But let's try to use that up. It's been in there forever, I feel like. This little container is brows, like one and done eyeshadows, some eyeliner, little things like that. First, I'm gonna throw in my sharpener into my bag, make sure I have that with. The Anastasia Brow Freeze. I have not used this in so long. I really haven't used much of it in general, but it's just kind of been sitting here like in the bottom of this tray for so long. I've been achieving that like really like stick up straight brow with the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Fix. And because this application is just so much easier, it's literally just a spoolie. I've just been going towards that, I guess, when I'm getting ready a lot of times for just like every day. it's just like the laziness in me to have to grab like a spoolie. This is just like takes a little bit longer to use, but I am gonna try to get some more use out of that. I don't think it's something that I would declutter yet at the end of the month, but I really have not been using it, so I'm going to toss that in there. I'm also going to put my Brow Wiz in there as well. I've been trying to just use this up. It's in chocolate and I feel like it's a little too warm for me. I also want to try a different brow pencil in general, so I'm just trying to use that. It's kind of been the pencil that's lasted forever, but we're going to try. And then I'm going to grab these tattoo liners. I have 2 of them because one was low and then I opened a new one and then they got mixed and I'm not sure which one was the one that was like drying out. So I'm just going to toss both of them in there. I'm going to try to use them, figure out which one's the dry one. I think I'm also going to toss this Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil in. It's in Mildew. It's a really pretty shimmery green color. I think it would just be pretty and I just haven't gotten use out of it. So I'm going to also throw that in there. That's everything for the top drawer. Okay, next for this very like overfilled, messy drawer. I have bronzers in this section. There's quite a few of them, like pretty much this whole chunk that I haven't been using at all. I think for something really nice and creamy, I'm gonna grab the Fenty Cream Bronzer. I have this in Butter Biscuit. This was for a while there oh, there's cat hair in there. My favorite cream bronzer, but then I discovered the NARS cream bronzer and now this one is the one I use every day. But I'm gonna try to kind of get back to it. So I'm gonna put that in. I'm also gonna grab a powder bronzer. I have been using the Ilio one like non-stop. So I think I'm gonna throw in the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and the e.l.f. bronzer. This one's the primer infused bronzer because I want to use this one, but I'm a little nervous about the tone of it. It looks very like warm. I'm afraid it's going to be a little orangey on me, and this one's a lot more neutral. So just as like backup, because I'm really, like I said, going to try to only use this makeup bag pretty much for December, besides like the couple of videos I'm going to be filming of like newer makeup this month. But for my everyday makeup bag, I really want to try to use this, and if this bronzer doesn't work, I kind of want to make sure I have a backup, especially when I'm actually not home. So those are going to go in. I'm trying to like organize this as I go. Right in the middle here is blushes. I think I'm going to grab the e.l.f. Putty blush. I've only used this once. I keep saying I need to keep using it, so I'm just gonna put it in there. And then I think I'm also going to do the NARS Behave blush. This used to be like my go-to like everyday blush, very neutral, very light, but I've been using other things, mostly creams, mostly like my Ilia multi-sticks, so I've been really neglecting it, so I'm gonna toss that in there. There's some highlighters here. I don't really have many of them. I think I'm gonna do this little nude sticks, I think it's Bubbly BB. Just doesn't really get used much in my collection, so let's grab that. I feel like I do actually use these other ones, and I don't wear highlighter every day, so I think just the one is gonna be okay. There's powders here. I use the Ilio one a ton. I use the Laura Mercier one. That's another one though that like I literally just can't use up. Like I've had it for so long, but there's so much powder in here and I don't use a ton every day. So I'm trying to use that up, but I have actually been kind of successful at it, I feel like. Like I've been actually using it and going for it day to day. So I'm gonna probably pick one of these back here instead. This is the e.l.f. HD powder and the Ulta Beauty matte finishing powder. My gut is kind of saying the Ulta Beauty one because I actually know I do like this one, and the coloring is really pretty. Like it's actually my skin tone, and the e.l.f. one is just white, so it makes me a little nervous. But let's try it. Let's do the e.l.f. one for powder this month. Then back here is a bunch of lip products. I have my lip liners in here, lip glosses, lipsticks. It's pretty much a mess of a bunch of lip products. I'm gonna grab this red. It's the MAC Powder Kiss in Healthy, Wealthy, and Thriving. It's like a really pretty, like perfect deep red. I feel like it's gonna be really good for the holiday season, and I haven't used it much, so I'm gonna grab that and put that in there for something more fancy. I'm also gonna toss in the Anastasia lip liner. This is in Deep Taupe, I think. Yeah, Deep Taupe. I pretty much get use of all of my lip liners because I don't have that many. I don't go too overboard on them. And then this NARS lipstick, it's in Dolce Vita. I just have not used in forever. It's a really pretty like pinky nude color. I'm gonna try to use that. And I've recently kind of like fell back in love with the Lifter gloss. I wasn't using it there for a while, but I've been using it the last couple days and I really like it. So I'm gonna also toss that in there as just a gloss to have. I feel like not everything can be something that I don't maybe love. Last drawer is just my palettes, and then a couple just like little shadows here, and my lashes. I've been getting a ton of use out of my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Eye palette. Smoky Eyes Are Forever. I love this palette, so I'm gonna leave that because I actually use it all the time. I really don't want to bring like a big eyeshadow at all, so I think I'm gonna grab the Huda Beauty Chocolate Brown palette. It's so pretty, but again, haven't used it a ton lately. These are really pretty like deep tones. Be really fun for holiday and Christmas and things like that. And then as like an everyday shadow palette, I'm gonna do the Glossier palette. I have this in Jute. I don't really remember like loving these that much. I feel like they're very, very light pigment. Obviously I wouldn't really expect anything else from Glossier. But I'm gonna try to use them up. They're really pretty in the pan. So I'm gonna at least try to kind of reuse them, use them in different ways. See if I can get some use out of those. I love the little tin packaging. It is refillable as well. Okay. Lastly, I'm gonna toss in my beauty blender. I feel like it's kind of gross that I just throw it in here. I should probably grab like a little plastic bag or something, but I do wash it quite often, so I'm just gonna throw that in there for now. I'm gonna grab my trusty blush brush, my little powder brush. I use this for bronzer as well. Instead of grabbing my Merit brush that I use every single day, I think I'm gonna grab this Real Techniques brush instead. It's kind of like a little stipple brush, but I like the feeling of it. It's supposed to be like a light coverage brush. I'm gonna try that for like cream bronzer and like that putty blush. I'm gonna do a little concealer brush, and then I think I'm just gonna grab like a little eyeshadow brush, like a flat one, and then a little blending brush. And I feel like that's all I really need to do shadows this month. Then last, I'm gonna grab my Rare Beauty foundation brush. I know I need probably a brush for the Estee Lauder foundation. It's a little bit like thicker, and I feel like it works best with a brush. So I'm gonna grab this for my foundation brush. Otherwise, I usually just use like my sponge for my tinted moisturizers. I think that is gonna be my big makeup bag for December. Okay, I realized that I actually have a lot of things that I need to like use up, and there's a lot of things that have just been sitting in there. I'm definitely a creature of habit, and once I like something, I gravitate towards it and like use it every single day. So I've definitely gotten like stuck in my routine of the things I really like. So I grabbed like what, 2 or 3 of almost every product. So I hope that that will get me by. I'm really gonna try to only use this bag all of December, try to get the most use of these products. Besides, of course, just like filming a couple things that I have planned that are gonna use other products. I'm a little nervous because I definitely filled it up with things that I haven't used in a while. And I basically like refrained from putting any of my current favorites in there. So it's gonna be a little weird to not use those every day and only use the things in the bag. Especially when I'm like not at home and don't have access to the rest of my collection, just in case. But I would say most of the products are things that I at one time really liked, so it's not like any of them are like bad products. I just haven't used them in a while, so we'll see how it goes. I'll definitely keep you updated throughout Vlogmas and throughout all the vlogs and everything. Obviously we're gonna be seeing a lot of each other. But I definitely hate packing. This will be really helpful throughout the month to just basically grab and go. So thank you so much for watching, shopping my stash a little, making a little makeup bag. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I will see you tomorrow for another new video.